Exposition of the Holy Quran by G.A. Parwez. Sura 3, Al-Imran, verse 1-50.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alif Lam Mim. Allahu la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. نزل عليك الكتاب بالحق مصدقا لما بين يديه وأنزل التوراة والإنجيل من قبل هدى للناس وأنزل الفرقان إن الذين كفروا بآيات الله لهم عذاب شديد والله عزيز ذو انتقام إن الله لا يخفى عليه شيء في الأرض ولا في السماء.
1-5 Allah, the wise and the knowing, has said, Allah is the sole authority in the universe and is ever living and self-subsisting. 255. O Rasul, He has sent you this revelation based upon truth, which will validate the claims made in previous scriptures. Allah had previously sent the Torah and the Bible, which contained guidance for mankind. Now, He has sent down this book which distinguishes between right and wrong. Quote, those who will reject this divine code will suffer grievously according to Allah's law of Mukafat. None can escape its grip. There is nothing in the universe which is hidden from Allah.
هو الذي يصوركم في الأرحام كيف يشاء لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم.
6. With regards to creation, it is Allah who fashions you in your mother's wombs according to His law of Mashiat. He is almighty, but His might is blended with wisdom.
هو الذي أنزل عليك الكتاب منه آيات محكمات هن أم الكتاب وأخر متشابهات فأما الذين في قلوبهم زيغ فيتبعون ما تشابه منه ابتغاء الفتنة وابتغاء تأويله وما يعلم تأويله إلا الله والراسخون في العلم يقولون آمنا به كل من عند ربنا وما يذكر إلا أولو الألباب.
7. Allah has sent down this book to you, O Rasul, which includes verses of two kinds. The first kind consists of those verses which have definite meaning and constitute the foundation of Allah's laws. The second kind are figurative and explain abstract realities metaphorically. Those who tend to deviate from Allah's path take the figurative verses in their literal sense, thereby causing discord by interpreting these verses in their own way. Allah only knows the essence of the realities which these verses represent. Those who make a right approach to knowledge believe in the realities but can also form an idea of what they are and can perceive their significance. These are the people who are gifted with insight. 74:31.
ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا إنك جامع الناس ليوم لا ريب فيه إن الله لا يخلف الميعاد. إن الذين كفروا لن تغني عنهم أموالهم ولا أولادهم من الله شيئا وأولئك هم وقود النار.
8 to 10 Their prayer is, O Allah,
having found the right path, may our hearts not swerve from it.
grant us means of development. You alone are their bestower. We know that at this time there are differences amongst mankind, but are sure that one day all humanity will become united by following your immutable laws. Surely Allah never fails to fulfill His promise. Nothing shall avail those who reject your laws, neither their wealth nor their offspring. Their end will be disastrous.
كدأب آل فرعون والذين من قبلهم كذبوا بآياتنا فأخذهم الله بذنوبهم والله شديد العقاب.
11.
For example,
The followers of the Pharaoh and the people before them who rejected these laws suffered grievously, and Allah is severe in retribution.
قل للذين كفروا ستغلبون وتحشرون إلى جهنم وبئس المهاد.
12. O Rasul, say to those who oppose your system that they will be subdued eventually and driven to Jahannam, which is a wretched abode.
قد كان لكم آية في فئتين التقتا فئة تقاتل في سبيل الله وأخرى كافرة يرونهم مثليهم رأي العين والله يؤيد بنصره من يشاء إن في ذلك لعبرة لأولي الأبصار.
13. You have seen a glimpse of it
in the Battle of Badr,
during confrontation between two forces, one fighting for the cause of Allah and the other opposing it. The opposing force was much larger, but since the Jamaat al-Momineen were strengthened by Iman, they felt that the enemy was only twice their number.
They were confident of their success, which they achieved.
8.
44 to 66.
Like this, all those who want to have divine help, get it by following His laws. For persons with insight, this instance illustrates that truth ultimately prevails.
زين للناس حب الشهوات من النساء والبنين والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة والخيل المسومة والأنعام والحرث ذلك متاع الحياة الدنيا والله عنده حسن المآب. قل أنبئكم بخير من ذلكم للذين اتقوا عند ربهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها وأزواج مطهرة ورضوان من الله والله بصير بالعباد.
14 to 15. The reason for this is obvious. Those whose objective is only secular, to them fair seeming is the pleasure derived from women and children, treasures of gold and silver, horses, cattle and harvest. For the believers also, these things are attractive, but they have a higher goal for which, if needed, they are willing to sacrifice them. They will receive blessings from Allah in the form of evergreen gardens overflowing with streams, comfortable dwellings and companions of unstained purity. These are the rewards for conformity with the laws of Allah. And He sees all that is in the hearts of His people.
الذين يقولون ربنا إننا آمنا ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وقنا عذاب النار.
16. The believers pray, O our Rabb, we have complete faith in your laws which we obey. If at any time we falter, we seek protection from the ill effects of our shortcomings. 2. 286, 53. 32. And keep us safe from the suffering of the fire.
الصابرين والصادقين والقانتين والمنفقين والمستغفرين بالأسحار.
17. These are the people who are steadfast during trials, who validate their beliefs in action, who obey Allah's laws with meekness, and who spend their wealth for the cause of Allah. Before they initiate any program, they ensure that they have sufficient resources and means of protection from the enemy, and also to feel safe and comfortable in their hearts.
شهد الله أنه لا إله إلا هو والملائكة وأولو العلم قائما بالقسط لا إله إلا هو العزيز الحكيم.
18. As mentioned earlier. 3. 2. There is no authority in the universe except His, and the first evidence is the correct concept about Allah Himself.
That if there were more than one authority, there would have been chaos in the universe. 21. 22.
Thereafter the evidence is provided by all the heavenly forces, whose working testifies the fact that the entire universe is one and is controlled by one supreme law. Then all those who are endowed with knowledge, and establish an order based on justice and equity. The result of such an order is the living proof of His authority. All these testimonies would lead one to the inescapable reality that it is Allah alone who wields the ultimate and supreme authority. And the entire system is functioning in a most orderly manner also because of His unique might and wisdom.
إن الدين عند الله الإسلام وما اختلف الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءهم العلم بغيا بينهم ومن يكفر بآيات الله فإن الله سريع الحساب.
19. This is Islam, i.e., the only deen prescribed by Allah for all humanity. This was given also to the earlier Anbiya, but their followers created differences through mutual jealousy. Allah's law of Makafat is that whoever rejects the divine guidance, Allah is swift in calling him to account.
فإن حاجوك فقل أسلمت وجهي لله ومن اتبعن وقل للذين أوتوا الكتاب والأميين أأسلمتم فإن أسلموا فقد اهتدوا وإن تولوا فإنما عليك البلاغ والله بصير بالعباد.
20. If, O Rasul, your opponents dispute with you concerning Islam, tell them, I have surrendered completely to it, and so have those who follow me. And ask the Al-Kitab as well as those who have not received any book before. Do you also surrender to it? If they do so, they will be regarded as rightly guided. If they reject it, you will not be responsible for them. You have delivered the message to them. The rest lies with Allah, who is cognizant of what people do.
إن الذين يكفرون بآيات الله ويقتلون النبيين بغير حق ويقتلون الذين يأمرون بالقسط من الناس فبشرهم بعذاب أليم. أولئك الذين حبطت أعمالهم في الدنيا والآخرة وما لهم من ناصرين.
21 to 22 Those who rejected Allah's laws and slain their Anbiya against all the right and also murdered those who asked him to act justly, for them is grievous punishment. All their deeds in this world and the hereafter will bear no fruit and there will be none to help them.
ألم تر إلى الذين أوتوا نصيبا من الكتاب يدعون إلى كتاب الله ليحكم بينهم ثم يتولى فريق منهم وهم معرضون.
23 Have you noticed these al-Kitab who were given a part of the divine code of law?
Now they are summoned to the Quran, which is the complete code of law, to resolve the differences by reference to it.
However, a group amongst them refuses to do so and wants to remain indifferent to it.
ذلك بأنهم قالوا لن تمسنا النار إلا أياما معدودات وغرهم في دينهم ما كانوا يفترون.
24 This is because decisions made in the light of the Quran are in accordance with the law of Makafat and they do not believe in this law.
These people say that the fire of hell will not touch them except for a few days.
It is their wishful thinking as a result of false belief which has deluded them from the true concept of deen.
فكيف إذا جمعناهم ليوم لا ريب فيه ووفيت كل نفس ما كسبت وهم لا يظلمون.
25 But their self-deception cannot save them from the grip of the law of Makafat, according to which everyone will get in full what he has worked for and none will be wronged.
قل اللهم مالك الملك تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتنزع الملك ممن تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء بيدك الخير إنك على كل شيء قدير.
26 O Rasul,
Tell them that no nation is Allah's favorite.
everyone is treated according to his laws which lay down that everyone will get the reward of what he has striven for. 53, 39 Status and position is also determined according to one's deeds.
46, 19
So whoever violates them deprives himself of authority and honor. He has laid down these measures to regulate everything and all this is for the good of humanity.
تولج الليل في النهار وتولج النهار في الليل وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق من تشاء بغير حساب.
27 External universe provides evidence regarding the operation of Allah's laws which are inexorable. For example, see how day and night succeed each other. How life emerges from inanimate matter. How living beings die. How everything in the universe receives sustenance beyond measure.
لا يتخذ المؤمنون الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين ومن يفعل ذلك فليس من الله في شيء إلا أن تتقوا منهم تقاه ويحذركم الله نفسه وإلى الله المصير.
28 People would obviously get divided into two groups. One who want to live in accordance with the Quranic system would be called the Mu'mineen, and those who reject or oppose this system would be called the Kafirin.
Both the groups differ with each other in principle.
Obviously it is not proper for the Mu'mineen to take the Kafirin into confidence. They will only have the Mu'mineen as their friends and allies. And whoever takes the opposite group as their friends will have nothing to do with the divine order. 3. 117 to 119, 58.
22, 60.
4. So you should be very careful and remain on guard against them. You must protect and keep in mind the divine laws, and that is your ultimate sanctuary and destination.
قل إن تخفوا ما في صدوركم أو تبدوه يعلمه الله ويعلم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض والله على كل شيء قدير.
29. We have made this thing very clear. So, even if after this, someone of you cannot or does not break his contacts, it is better for him to join them openly. This is wrong and unfair that you have something else hidden in your heart but outwardly express different things. And what is the use of such an attitude when nothing remains hidden from Allah? Knowing the secrets of the heart is a minor thing when He knows all that is in the heavens and on the earth, and Allah possesses absolute control over everything.
يوم تجد كل نفس ما عملت من خير محضرا وما عملت من سوء تود لو أن بينها وبينه أمدا بعيدا ويحذركم الله نفسه والله رؤوف بالعباد.
30. On the day of reckoning, each person will be confronted by all his actions, good and bad. He will wish at that time to be taken far away from the consequences of his ill deeds.
This is why Allah warns you to be mindful of His law of makafat.
This warning reflects the kindness of Allah.
قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم والله غفور رحيم. قل أطيعوا الله والرسول فإن تولوا فإن الله لا يحب الكافرين.
31 to 32. Say to the Mu'mineen, if you ardently desire the establishment of the divine system, you should follow me. You will be protected from the ill effects of the insinuations made about you and also receive means of protection and development. This is the practical way of establishing the divine system, complete obedience to the laws of Allah, not individually but collectively. The central authority of this system is the Rasul, whose decisions in accordance with the laws of Allah are to be obeyed. If you turn away from this path, you will be counted amongst the kafirin.
إن الله اصطفى آدم ونوحا وآل إبراهيم وآل عمران على العالمين.
33. All mankind was called upon to establish the divine system, and in certain periods, this system did take shape e.g. during the early period of mankind, which has been narrated allegorically in the story of Adam and Iblis.
2.
30 to 36. And then the era of Noah and the house of Abraham and the progeny of Imran. Because of this their status was raised above the rest of mankind.
ذرية بعضها من بعض والله سميع عليم.
34. All of them were descendants of one another. All this did not happen casually but in accordance with the plan of Allah, who hears and knows all.
إذ قالت امرأة عمران رب إني نذرت لك ما في بطني محررا فتقبل مني إنك أنت السميع العليم.
35. The last in the series of Anbiya belonging to Al Imran was Jesus. The Jews leveled all kinds of allegations against him and his mother. To disprove these allegations, the Quran has narrated what actually happened. This story begins when a woman from Al Imran took a vow to dedicate her expected offspring for the exclusive service of Allah. She prayed, "O my Rabb, accept my offering, because you know with what honest and sincere feelings I have made this offering."
Surely you alone are all-hearing, all-knowing.
فلما وضعتها قالت رب إني وضعتها أنثى والله أعلم بما وضعت وليس الذكر كالأنثى وإني سميتها مريم وإني أعيذها بك وذريتها من الشيطان الرجيم.
36 She delivered a baby girl and thought inwardly that in order to fulfill her vow it would have been better if she had a boy. But Allah knew that this girl was to do what a boy could not do. She named her daughter Mary and prayed to Allah to protect her progeny from Shaitan, the accursed.
فتقبلها ربها بقبول حسن وأنبتها نباتا حسنا وكفلها زكريا كلما دخل عليها زكريا المحراب وجد عندها رزقا قال يا مريم أنى لك هذا قالت هو من عند الله إن الله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب.
37 Allah accepted the offering graciously.
Mary was committed to the care of Zachariah and grew up to be a person of elegance and grace. Because of her piety she began to receive various kinds of offerings.
Whenever Zachariah visited Mary at the temple he found these offerings beside her. He would ask her, "O Mary, whence come these to you?" She replied, "They are not from any person belonging to the temple. These offerings have been brought by people in the name of Allah who gives sustenance without measure."
هنالك دعا زكريا ربه قال رب هب لي من لدنك ذرية طيبة إنك سميع الدعاء.
38 Until that time, Zachariah had no children. Raising Mary as his own child evoked in him the desire to have a child of his own. So he prayed, "O my Rabb,
bestow on me, out of your grace, the gift of a virtuous offspring. You indeed hear all prayers."
فنادته الملائكة وهو قائم يصلي في المحراب أن الله يبشرك بيحيى مصدقا بكلمة من الله وسيدا وحصورا ونبيا من الصالحين.
39 Whilst he was still praying in the temple, the Malaika said to him, "Allah has sent you the glad tidings of the birth of a son, John, who will testify to Allah's laws. He will be a great leader maintaining discipline amongst his followers and a person with outstanding capabilities. In short, a Nabi from among the Salihin."
قال رب أنى يكون لي غلام وقد بلغني الكبر وامرأتي عاقر قال كذلك الله يفعل ما يشاء.
40 Zachariah said, "How can I have a child when old age has already overtaken me and my wife is barren? Will the child be an adopted one like Mary, or will it be my own?" The answer was, "No, the child will be your own son." The physical defect due to which Zacharias' wife could not have Zacharias' child was removed, and she gave birth to John in due course of time.
21.
90. Allah said it would be like that as Allah does what He wills.
قال رب اجعل لي آية قال آيتك ألا تكلم الناس 3 أيام إلا رمزا واذكر ربك كثيرا وسبح بالعشي والإبكار.
41 Zechariah said, "O Allah, let me know if there is any particular directive in this regard." Allah said, "The only directive is that for 3 days you shall not converse with people except by means of signs and keep the divine laws before you unceasingly. Otherwise go about your daily business in your routine manner."
وإذ قالت الملائكة يا مريم إن الله اصطفاك وطهرك واصطفاك على نساء العالمين يا مريم اقنتي لربك واسجدي واركعي مع الراكعين.
42 to 43 Seeing the inner life of the temple, Mary began to have all kinds of apprehensions regarding her own future. To set her mind at rest, Zechariah sent her a message saying, "Do not be apprehensive. You have been chosen by Allah for a noble purpose. You will lead a life of purity and shall have eminence over all the women. Be devoted to Allah and keep on obeying Allah's laws just as other people do."
ذلك من أنباء الغيب نوحيه إليك وما كنت لديهم إذ يلقون أقلامهم أيهم يكفل مريم وما كنت لديهم إذ يختصمون.
Opening parenthesis. 44. Mary's apprehensions were not baseless. A number of priests wanted to take her in their charge. The dispute became so serious that they had to resort to drawing lots to resolve the matter. Allah said, "O Rasul, Allah is telling you all this through revelation, otherwise you were neither present at the time when the lots were being drawn, nor when they contended about it with each other."
إذ قالت الملائكة يا مريم إن الله يبشرك بكلمة منه اسمه المسيح عيسى بن مريم وجيها في الدنيا والآخرة ومن المقربين ويكلم الناس في المهد وكهلا ومن الصالحين.
45 to 46 Mary had also been told that Allah had sent her the good tidings about the birth of a son according to his laws.
The son's name would be the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary. He would be illustrious in this world and in the hereafter. He would be most devoted to Allah.
He would preach to people from an early age to an advanced age.
100. And would be from amongst those who possess exalted qualities.
قالت رب أنى يكون لي ولد ولم يمسسني بشر قال كذلك الله يخلق ما يشاء إذا قضى أمرا فإنما يقول له كن فيكون.
47 Mary was surprised to hear this tiding about the birth of a son and said, "How can I have a son when no man has touched me?" The answer was the same that had been given to Zechariah 3:39, namely that the child would be born in accordance with Allah's law of creation. And when he takes a decision about something, the initiation of the process starts forthwith.
ويعلمه الكتاب والحكمة والتوراة والإنجيل ورسولا إلى بني إسرائيل أني قد جئتكم بآية من ربكم أني أخلق لكم من الطين كهيئة الطير فأنفخ فيه فيكون طيرا بإذن الله وأبرئ الأكمه والأبرص وأحيي الموتى بإذن الله وأنبئكم بما تأكلون وما تدخرون في بيوتكم إن في ذلك لآية لكم إن كنتم مؤمنين.
48-49 Mary was also told that her son will not be like ordinary children. Allah will give him the book based on wisdom and reveal to him knowledge of the Torah and Bible, sending him as a Nabi to Bani Israel, to whom he will say, I bring to you a life-giving message from your Rabb. Through this revelation I will give you new life so that you can rise above the depths to which you have sunk and be able to soar high in the sky. 110. In all this is indeed a message for you, but only if you have faith in it. At present you are sightless. This revelation will give you sight so that you can walk on the right path. At present, fields of your activities are barren and lifeless. Through the revelation they will become green and fruitful. Your mean disposition due to which others shun you will be transformed. In short, your present death-like state of disgrace and degradation will be changed into a new life.
I will establish a system,
replacing your present economic system,
which would keep an eye on you to see
how much of life's necessities you utilize and how much you hoard in order to earn unlawful profit from it. The changes which I bring about will serve as a proof of my being a Nabi.
ومصدقا لما بين يدي من التوراة ولأحل لكم بعض الذي حرم عليكم وجئتكم بآية من ربكم فاتقوا الله وأطيعون.
50 Jesus will say to the Bani Israel,
the law which I have received through revelation is not a new one. It will validate what has been said before in the Torah, and liberate you from your self-made Shariat 4.
166, 147, 16.
118, and to make lawful unto you some of the things which had been forbidden to you earlier. And I have come with a message from your sustainer, so always abide by the laws of Allah and follow me.